Yes, Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here in the bar I still geniusly call in the Disco Arms. This video brings you an unusual and probably fairly rare beer involving a fairly well-known brand. Many people might have missed out on. I nearly have, because it's been sitting in my stash for over a year now. It's kind of fallen into the category of accidentally aged beer, which was a series of beers I started doing last year. I mean to continue, but didn't mean to continue with this one. I bought it last year on a discounted range because it was one I really wanted to get hold of. That was in a pack of beers, a collaboration series between Toast, based in London, and do beers utilising leftover bread products in the mash to reduce the grain bill and to try and eradicate, or at least reduce, food waste. A little bit of an unusual collaboration with well-known brand. You see the golden harp there of Guinness. Didn't hear too much about it at the time. It was just in a collaboration range of 26 other collaboration beers. It was brought out originally around the time of COP26 summit in Glasgow, so that shows you how long ago it is. So what this beer is going to be like now, I don't know. I bought it then because I wanted to know, and then one thing and another, timings, and I just sort of couldn't find an angle to talk about it. So it's now in my accidentally aged beer series, if only by 1 year I'm going back. I never see anybody else really talking about it that much for such a well-known brand. Didn't see any other reviewers do it, and I didn't see a lot of marketing or push from really the Guinness or Toast. I struggled to find an angle to talk about it until the other month I was wandering around Aldi, which many of you might guess what's coming up, because I also have been doing a series, again slightly accidental, of beer based on their food stuffs, so kind of food pairings. So you might guess what's coming up, but enough waffle for me. I really want to taste this beer. There wasn't a lot of information about it. All I remember from the website was that it was brewed with leftover green chilies. So I've got a chili flavoured Guinness. Now, whether a year on that chili flavour remains, it's a stout, it's 5%. There's not a lot of further information on the bottle. There's the bottle itself, say the well-known harp logo from Guinness, plus Toast. There's no other particular information on it. So without further ado, let's get this into a glass and see what a 18-month-old Guinness Toast collab green chili stout actually tastes like, and whether it still tastes like what it would have tasted like if I'd done it on time. Rusty bottle opener, and in. Oh, that's going to go everywhere. Oh no, I just see a little bubble, just see a little rise, and sometimes beers that you've left for a while tend to go a bit lively on opening. I noticed someone seems all right. It's still got plenty of carbonation, but not too much. It's a Titanic glass. Don't know why I'm using that one. I swear I had a Guinness glass. Everyone's got a Guinness glass somewhere. Kind of ubiquitous merch. I couldn't find one, so I put it in Titanic glass because it's only a 330ml bottle. Yeah, odd shape though, kind of stubby little 330. So I thought it'd fit nicely into that glass, and it does. Comes out with a nice bubbly, slightly off-white head. Looks really good. Nice, tight, packed head on that, like you might expect from a bottle of Guinness. It's got a strong, stouty, roasty aroma. And I don't know whether it's because I've got chilies in my head, but that's definitely what I said. If I can find that, if I can go back and find that on the website, I'll put it up. But definitely feels like some kind of spice or chili note on the aroma. Nose is reasonably good today, so. And hey, it's a Guinness stout, so you can have some amount of roastiness. Head's dying back a little bit, but it's still nice and tightly packed. Good carbonation in it. Let's dive in. There's nothing else to go on about, really. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Crikey. Tell you what, it's got a sort of slight essence of that export Guinness. Maybe not the Nigerian one, the West Indian one, perhaps. It's got quite a strong flavour, big roastiness. It's getting close to a Guinness Draft Stout, but there is a kind of warming note to it. Again, I don't know if that's psychosomatic because I read about green chilies in the original, or whether it's definitely still there. I would have thought that might have faded a little bit in a year to 18 months that this beer has been in the bottle. The aroma does kind of help with the flavour a little bit. There's a slightly rough edge to it, slightly raspy edge, but on the whole, it's a smooth enough stout. If a touch thin, it's not got that sort of voluptuousness. Only the merest hint of that voluptuousness of a Guinness Draft Stout. Tell you what, it's a nice one. Doesn't seem to have suffered too much. I think it's one of those that's going to get warmer. I might have to come back down the bottom of the glass and see just how much chili tingling the lips a little. It works really well with that roastiness. There's not too much chocolate or coffee notes about the roastiness like that you may be getting a Guinness. It's more just a kind of burnt toast, kind of roasted malt background to the flavour. And then there's a big warming note from the chili that kind of just sort of comes out. Not quite enough to burn, but you certainly know it's there, or I do anyway. I'm not a big fan of chili beers. I think me and Raska have discussed that on one or two occasions on live streams. In fact, we even did a chili beer show once. I find them a bit testing. I find chilies a bit testing on my palate as it is. Doesn't mean I don't try them. I'm really pleased I tried this. It's taken a while. Yeah, and it's one I'm like intrigued by. I'm going back for. I'm having another look. I'm waiting for that burn to arrive. It's sort of just bubbling above the surface a little bit. I say alongside that kind of roasted malt, slightly burnt toast flavour. That's not a bad thing, burnt toast in a beer. It signifies that roasted kind of malty flavour. They didn't make too much of, and I don't really know how much recycled bread products they used in this particular beer. I think they definitely used like end of life or recycled green chilies, from what I remember reading on the write-up. So it's an intriguing little beer. I think quite rare because, as far as I could tell, it was only available in a pack of 26 collab beers at Toasted around about that time. I didn't get it originally because it was an 80-odd quid box, and I was worried a bit about money at that point. I waited until I got 14 beers for 20 quid. The others were pretty good too, to be fair. I didn't do too much reviews on those, but this one just sort of sat there. I wanted to get it right. I wanted to have time to kind of enjoy it as well, because I didn't really know what to do with it. So when I was wandering around Lidl the other day, obviously these kind of sat out. They're from Burts. You do a lot of these kind of thick cut hand cooked potato crisps, kind of pub snack crisps. This one says Guinness Rich Chili, a delicious creation of hand cooked quality potatoes. You're not going to use unquality potatoes, are you? Crisped to perfection, then seasoned with a selection of herbs, tomato, and chili, combined with the flavour of the most iconic Irish stout. Quite a lot more stuff on the back there. Shan't read it out. Just going to open it and see just how close this beer is to these crisps, because it's kind of fresher. I mean, these are much newer, much fresher. I'm expecting much more chili here, and I don't normally eat on camera if I can help it, especially crisps, because they make a lot of noise and can make a lot of mess. But here goes. Similar kind of roasty notes. kind of more like sticking your nose in what Marmite. Yeah, that's that yeast extract kind of thing that they use for flavourings. Anyway, cheers. So I'm getting a twiglet kind of thing going on, but with potato crisps. Not really much in the way, actually. Not a big fan of Marmite, by the way. Never have been. But Guinness and Guinness flavour crisps. That works. I'm not getting too much chili on them at all. Much like this beer, it's kind of there in the background, I think. I would have thought this would have amplified it, having got some from that. They do complement each other, but not massively on the chili from this one. How old these are? These are the Audi, so they've been sitting around a while. Shopping at Audi gets you, I suppose. Really nice. A really good pub snack. Something a little bit different to a plain old crisp or salt and vinegar or whatever. They both go together. Got a similar flavour profile. That ranks pretty high. I quite enjoyed that. It's worth looking at. So, probably can't get this anymore. It's probably the last one in the wild because I didn't see too many talking about it anyway. I say it's from last year, so I'm guessing the few that were about have already been drunk. Do like the bottle, kind of stubby little thing with the Arthur Guinness embossed on the back. Nice little bit of artwork, albeit minimal. Couldn't have pints of this. Probably wouldn't want to session it. It's not quite the same as even draft Guinness or even, as I say, the export Guinness, but it's kind of going that way towards that kind of one of those more exporty, which is kind of more roasty, more burnt kind of flavours. But a really nice little drop. The chili's building and building for me anyway. Like big out habanero chili enthusiast won't really be touching the sides on this. You won't really notice it, but I do. It's really nice. I quite like it. It's just, yeah, pleasant little drop. A good example of a bit more versatility and something a bit more interesting from out of Guinness. It's great that Toast have done it with the food waste. I'm a big fan of not wasting it. Hence, I'm going to do it eventually, and I've done it eventually rather than just sitting it in the stash. I've got a lot more to get to. Really nice. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you try this one? Chilli Guinness? Yay or nay? And as always, I probably don't need to say it, but you kind of have to. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe for more beer videos from Rasco and Disco Beer Review. I've been Disco. Cheers. Enjoy the beers. Let's launch it.